Welcome to the third video in our Getting Started in a Distance Learning Environment series. This video will provide you with some practical tips and advice on how to stay on top of assignment deadlines and use effective study techniques to ace your next exam. We can all feel overwhelmed when we have multiple assignments due on top of end of the semester deadlines to meet. Maybe you fell behind and are feeling frustrated about the amount of work you have to make up. Does it feel like you have new assignment deadlines and test dates coming at you from multiple sources every day? Can you identify with one of these memes? Are you so overwhelmed or so far behind that you find it hard to focus when you're studying? Do you have days when you decide that giving up is easier than trying to figure it all out? Nothing is impossible with a positive mindset and the right tools to help you succeed. Don't waste another minute worrying about how you will get it all done. Start putting together your plan for academic success now. Gather up all those assignment reminders. Look in Moodle, check your emails, look on the class syllabus and any other source where you have seen coursework posted. Organize all your assignments and exam dates by class. Make sure to put the assignment due date, and don't forget to include how much time you will need to do your work. Major projects, papers, and exams will require you to break the work down into smaller steps with deadlines. You can't simply write on your schedule you have a paper due and expect to get it all done in one day. The same is true for exams. Be specific with your study plan to include what material you will study and how you will study it. Once you have all your assignments written out and organized, start assigning the work to a calendar week. For example, if you know you have a math lab due this week, allocate the time needed to work on that assignment to your schedule for week 1. After you have your list of everything you need to work on in that week, start assigning the day of the week and the time of day you will work on each project. Spreading your work out throughout the day offers many benefits. But if you find it difficult to get started or return to studying after a break, you might choose to plan one project after the next as soon as your day gets started. Posting a 2-week or monthly view of what you need to work on will help you see which days you might have a heavier workload than others so you can adjust your schedule if needed. This process is not a one and done. New assignments and due dates can change on a daily basis. Repeat this process every day to make sure you capture all the necessary work due for each class. Let's turn our focus to effective study strategies. This section will cover the best method of study for the material you will be tested on, how drawing a concept or mind map can be good for active recall, practicing the right way to read a textbook, using teaching for learning, and other valuable tips for academic success. The way we study for a class on foreign language, financial accounting, or statistics should all look a little different. Let's look at stats. Memorizing formulas is not the secret to doing well in a statistics class. Earning an A is all about practice. And not just any type of practice, distributive practice. Distributive practice means you study in a smaller chunk of time, several days a week. One recommendation is to work on random practice problems for 1 hour per day at the same time each day for 6 days in a row each week. Concept maps or mind maps help us to organize and understand information faster and better. The visuals create a deeper connection in our brain and assist with active recall. There are multiple ways to draw a concept map, and the best way is your way. If you are studying difficult or detailed material, a mind map can help you organize it in a way that makes it easier to understand. If you have been highlighting words and phrases as you read along in your textbooks, stop and try this 3-step approach. Step 1 is to break the chapters into smaller pieces. You should allocate 5 minutes of reading time per page and plan to read 10 pages at one time. Step 2 is to start at the end. Read through the key concepts or chapter summary first. Then look over the chapter titles and subheadings on each page. This process helps your brain prepare to organize the information as you read it. Step 3 is to actively read the text. Write down the key concepts of the section and any supporting details. It is also beneficial to summarize in your own words what you just read. Come up with a question or two about the material, and you can use this as a practice test for later. You can't teach what you don't know. When you approach studying from the perspective of having to teach the material, you stimulate a different learning process that causes you to look at the information in a more meaningful way. Finally, we have 8 great study tips that make you more effective and more efficient as you study in college. Tip 1. Move a little before you study. When you exercise, you help rid your body of stress and stimulate your brain for better learning. Tip 2. Try active recall. Talk out loud or write down everything you know about a subject matter to find out what you really know and what you still need to work on. Tip 3. Study right before you go to sleep. Our brains retain information we review while in a sleepy state. If you are studying a foreign language, you definitely want to try sleep learning. Tip 4. Remove the distractions. You cannot do your best work if you have your brain moving in 3 different directions at once. Texting and watching TV do not improve learning. If you need to block out other distractions or can't stand the quiet, use music or white noise. Tip 5. Study in smaller blocks of time helps your brain stay fresh. If you find it difficult to come back to studying after a break, set a timer on your phone to remind you it's time to get back to work. Tip 6. Much of what we study has real-life application. Look for examples in your own life or the lives of friends and family members where you can relate what you are learning. Tip 7. Study routines are great when they work, but sometimes you just need to freshen things up. Look for opportunities to study in a different location if you are feeling unmotivated. Tip 8. Avoid distractions. Procrastination, lack of motivation, and competing priorities can take you away from schoolwork if you let them. Make your academic success a priority and stay committed to finishing strong. To learn strategies for dealing with distractions, make sure you check out the final video in our Getting Started in a Distance Learning Environment series.